Greetings to our viewers. You are still watching Workers World right here on Cape Town TV, and this is what you can expect in this week's bulletin. The International Trade Union Confederation releases their Global Rights Index. Domestic workers want to be covered for occupational injuries and diseases. SATAWU allegedly millions plundered. NUMSA mourns the death of its member at Fosco. NEHAWU ends its strike victoriously at Vaal University of Technology. Welcome back. And now for this week's global labor news. The International Trade Union Confederation recently released the results of its annual Global Rights Index, and the situation for workers of the world looks grim. Trade unionists were murdered in 10 countries: Bangladesh, Brazil, Colombia, Guatemala, Honduras, Italy, Pakistan, the Philippines, Turkey, and Zimbabwe. 85% of countries, including South Africa, have violated the right to strike. 80% of countries deny some or all workers collective bargaining. The number of countries which exclude workers from the right to establish or join a trade union increased from 92 in 2018 to 107 in 2019. Workers had no or restricted access to justice in 72% of countries. The number of countries where workers are arrested and detained increased from 59 in 2018 to 64 in 2019. Out of 145 countries surveyed, 54 denied or constrained free speech and freedom of assembly. Authorities impeded the registration of unions in 59% of countries. Workers experienced violence in 52 countries. About 50 domestic workers, all members of the South African Domestic Service and Allied Workers Union, protested in front of Parliament on Monday, demanding that government include them in the Compensation for Occupational Injuries and Diseases Act. On 23rd of May, the Pretoria High Court ruled that the exclusion of domestic workers from COIDA is unconstitutional, but the law has yet to be changed to include domestic workers. The team recently spoke to Hester Stephens, president of SATAWU.
Is to have a silent picket towards COIDA. If we as domestic workers, that we've been waiting for this government to pass the law of COIDA for domestic workers, we feel it's unfair. We are part of the working class in this country. We want to be covered by COIDA. What we are saying as the Domestic Workers Union, we want the protection from government. We want even the employers to come up with a solution and at least compensate the worker. I also feel that we do contribute towards the economy of this country.
The National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa recently mourned the death of one of its members, Simiso Tabani Ntanzi, who fell to his death from the 6th floor of a concentration plant at Fosco in Richards Bay on Wednesday, 5th of June. Simiso was an instrument technician working in the newly built concentration plant. The plant manufactures phosphate-based fertilizers and phosphoric acid. The Department of Labor conducted its initial investigation after the incident, and an internal investigation is also underway. After a week-long strike by members of NEHAWU at Vaal University of Technology in Vanderbijlpark, Gauteng, the union concluded an agreement with management achieving a 7.5% increase with backup pay from April this year, implementation of the 2016 insourcing agreement, and equalization of pay for work of the same value. The 5-day strike and the agreement was a sweet victory for the union and its members, who had to deal with a management that initially pushed for a 0% increase. And that is the end of our global labor news. Till next week, over to you, Helga.